Oh, that. What is up? Can you hear me? One, two, one. Okay, seems to be working fine now. That was weird. Why was it doing that? It just needs to be reset. Chat. As I was saying, it's been a while, chat, and I was just yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I had issues there. I think it must have slipped out. Anyway, I was having issues with my microphone. But welcome all, chat, to the stream. Hope you all been doing good. Red machine broken. We had I shouted out to HynesZ as well, who for first time joining the stream. What's up, man? And we've also got a bunch of other people in chat. What's up, Alexander? Muted, yeah. Cheesecloth soup. I don't know what you mean by that, bread. Yeah, appreciate everyone so far though. Yeah, you can hear me now. Okay, that's good. I don't know what happened. Obviously, I go away for like a month. This is the first stream of 2023, chat, right? I think it's the first one. I can't really remember. But shout out to everyone. Hope you had a good Christmas. Hope you had a good New Year's. Well, and yeah, back to normality, I suppose, for now. So what is the agenda for today? So as you can see, we're in the VDC server right now. We're in the VDC practice server, and we're going to be practicing for VDC tomorrow, which starts tomorrow. In a late server is not public, by the way. This is a private server. This server is for VDC. This is an unreleased track. You guys will see this I suppose Monday when it gets released. So yeah, this is a private server, folks. So when we practice for VDC competition, it's private server. I'll have to probably state that in the future because I always get asked. Just bear with me. I'm gonna fix some things with my streams. I'm gonna edit some bits and pieces. Cam needs fixed. Some weird stuff. No, that's not. But yeah, chat. I hope you have been. I hope you've had a good couple of weeks. I've been busy. I've been out in the Middle East eating and racing and stuff like that. I hope you guys have been following us over there. We've been but yeah, I know we've been busy, as you can imagine. So I'm excited to be home. Excited to be back. You guys have been good as well. There's something missing on this setup, and I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously, look, this camera could be. Oh, that looks better. You don't see the toolbox as much. Or my bottle of Lucozade, so you see in the background. I haven't really cleaned up my room since I've gotten back. But yeah, I hope you guys have been good. You doing the BDC? BDC is gone. It is folded. I've never done the BDC. Well, I've done it twice, but I've never done a full season of BDC. You were drifting with Adam Zaleski yesterday. Yeah, Adam Zaleski, cool guy. I know him very well. I've drifted with him as well in the past. But yeah, appreciate the congrats on the Omen adventures. We're heading back out there again in 2 weeks, chat. So I think at the end of the stream, what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at our two events back in Oman. So if you guys are kind of interested to see what I had to say about that, stay tuned. We'll have a look at that in about an hour or so. So we're going to stream for 2 hours tonight. 2 hours tonight, so we'll go till 10 o'clock, which is in about an hour and 50 minutes time. We'll do about an hour and a bit of VDC stuff because there's only so much driving I can do, and I don't think there's many people on. But as well as that, I want to train privately later on tonight a little bit more. So I don't want to stream that because like I'm trying to still figure out the car at the moment. So we're driving for funsies for the moment. And then later on, we're going to have a look at our adventure in Oman. So we'll have a look back at the stream. You guys can ask questions. I'll state some of my thoughts. I've been working on a vlog for that. And it's a little bit different for round 1. Round 2 will be maybe a generic type vlog too. So anyway, you'll see with those coming up next week before I fly out again. Okay, so questions in the chat. Connect. I don't know what you mean by that, Divine, but basically this server is private. So this is a private server because we're in the VDC Pro server, which generally means that everything we're doing here is for competition purposes. The cars are private, the track is private until Monday, and the competition is licensed. Therefore, not everyone can compete in it, so the servers are private for us to practice. Do you enjoy 3.0 more than 2.0? Are the 3.0 tires more realistic? I think the tires are pretty realistic. I think my issue with the tires is that over a couple of years, they've added more and more side grip. So side grip is essentially when the tire is when you're obviously sideways, you have more grip when you decide to decel. And that's fine, but you get to a point where the car becomes undrivable because it's so hard to it slows down too quickly. So it makes it harder to float onto people's doors. It makes it harder to float into clipping points and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about the tires, but that's more of a personal preference. Like even in real life, there's tires that have more side grip than others, and I would not run those tires if they had more side grip. I prefer to have tires that have more forward drive and less side bite, because I like to have float in the car. I like to be able to suck it up onto the outside zone and accelerate without having to like stand on the left foot brake or anything like that. We're just driving here on Silverstone, so we're using Maggots and Beckett's for this round 1 layout. This layout is quite tricky, folks, I'll be honest. It's yeah, I don't know, it's quite tricky. Having to do a lot of different car setup stuff that I've never done before in the past, or wouldn't have done in the past. Make it work as we run wide there. And obviously we're driving on roof cameras because it's what we'll be using in competition tomorrow. The reason why I use roof camera, because it's just simply easier. You get to, when we're chasing Roma here, you'll see that it's just a little bit easier to see over the roof of the car and to just adapt to what they're doing. So right now we're driving with Roman Kodostrenka, who's a Belarusian driver, and he competes in real life as well. He's a local country. I think he has a BMW M2 or something like that. He drives with 270 degrees in real world as well. So like, chat, you ever see those people that drive like with steering like this? Well, Roma does that in the real world as well. It's very interesting how he does it. He literally replicated his same car in the real world, which I think is kind of interesting. But it doesn't look like he's steering as fast as it is before, so maybe he's slowing it down a bit or made it more. Oh, running wide. Oh, safe. Wall there. You like the section we find it hard to chase? Oh, I agree, Alex. It's pretty difficult. I feel like in the past they were like, oh, it's all about the lead run, but I actually think doing a really good lead run here is the worst for the chase driver. And like, it's a good thing because the lead driver, the chase driver, knows where he's going to end up, but the track is a little bit too vague in a way, you know. You still can kind of get away with it by doing it wrong. It doesn't really, I don't really think it flows. I mean, it does flow, but it's just like the margin of error is like extremely small. So like, if you do slightly go offline, like that's it. Which I suppose from a driver perspective, it's a good thing. But I don't actually think anyone's really able to perfectly nail it. Anyway, chat, is everything okay with the stream? I haven't actually had the chance to have a look at it, so I've just been driving. So, is anything like, I think I should turn up in-game sound or my voice? Let me know. I'll do it. Is there a way to decrease side grip or increase forward bite? Yeah, there's some alignment stuff you can do. But like, really, it's like the thing is when it comes to drift cars, right? And you might anyone who watches Driftmasters, especially, you might notice this, that you know, a tire will make up like 90% of the grip of a car, right? Like, you could have the worst setup car ever. Like, the rear of your car's alignment could be so bad. You could have like the stiffest springs, stiffest shocks. Like, your stuff could be all over the place. And then you put like a really, really, really good tire on the rear of it, and it just makes up for everything. So like, it's hard to really find more grip in a car when you're locked to a tire. Like, the easiest way to find speed in a drift car is literally just changing the brand of tire that you run, for example. Bruno with the YouTube, so I appreciate that. Just Hitch with the YouTube or Twitch follow, and Jeffa with the follows. I appreciate that. I'll go first person. I won't be going first person tonight, guys. I'm actually practicing for a competition tomorrow, so I'm not any. I don't want to experiment. No need for experimentation right now. Someone who wants to be in VDC during outside seat time, do you have any suggestions or tips? I would say just drive as many competition track layouts as possible. Prioritize your lead runs. Chase driving, I'll be honest with you, chase driving nowadays is not really a skill that's like amazed by anyone anymore. Like, the judges don't really care. Obviously, amazing chase run is good and all, but 9 times out of 10 battles are decided from the lead run. So take that into consideration. You know, you don't need to be a chase driving master. You just need to be a guy that understands. You need to be the type of driver that understands what the judges are looking for and just exactly do what they want. And if the judges are good judges, they will reward you. Obviously, it's different in a scenario if you feel like there's bias or anything like that. But to be honest, judges are never biased. It's just really bad judging criteria that they're judging to. Like, I don't think a judge wants to be considered wants to get hate. But they're not going to do anything to get them hate. I don't know why. Actually, that's a good point. A lot of people, I don't know, drivers and even spectators say if something is a bad call, like, oh, the judges need to need new judges. Man, if you go with that mentality, you're going to very quickly run out of judges because no one will want to judge if that's the case. So the best way for better judging calls is to have a judging criteria that makes sense, that people can follow and that the judges can follow easily, and that it just, you know, it just doesn't like have really awkward calls. That's why like rules like straightening up equals a 0. Like, if you straighten up your wheels for like half a clip point, you shouldn't get a 0 for that, because that's subjective. Like, doesn't matter what way you look at it. Like, someone watching may not see that, and next thing the guy gets a 0 and like, oh, how did he get a 0? Well, because he straightened his wheels for like half a meter. Like, that makes no fucking sense. Ruins the aspect of the show. Oh. That was not a nice smash. Anyway, bit of a rant. Would you be called Alan or HynesZ? Either or, to be honest. People probably know me more as Alan, but I've kind of gone with the HynesZ brand as a nickname thing. Watch us slipping. I keep mistiming my transitions, folks. Fly with me one day. Appreciate that, Aaron. Yeah, we'll host some public servers. I might stream next week. We'll see, because I'm leaving to the Middle East or Oman again next week, and if that's the case, I'm not sure if I'll stream next Wednesday or not. So my usual schedule is every Wednesday from 8, half 7 or 8. Today I decided to do Friday, so I think on VDC weekends we'll stream on the Friday beforehand. So obviously we're streaming tonight on the Friday. Usually it would be Wednesday that I would stream, and we'll stream to about 10. Next week will be probably Wednesday, and we'll probably do like a public server or something like that. Maybe I might have to get my hands on the next Omen layout. Maybe I might be able to do that. See if we can do that. We might try it out on the stream. Did you have to practice to know where your rear of the car is exactly? Yeah, it just comes with time, I suppose. So the more time you drive, the more you kind of say, okay, well, this is the rear of my car. The hardest one is the rear wheels, especially on this track, on the rear wheels, understanding how close you can get to the edge of the circuit without dirt dropping. 50 on initiation here, and not so much here. Well, definitely here with this curve. I think I'm on the green right now. And the dirt right here is tricky as well. But I'm dirt dropping right now, speaking of. But the best way to do it is to find like a reference point on your car. So I'm obviously on the roof camera right now, so it's a little bit more vague. When you're in the cockpit camera, it's a little bit easier. So like for me on this car, I look at the hang on, let me use the mouse. When I'm driving on this car, if I look at this corner right here where the arch of my blue is of the sticker, the Vitor sticker, if I put my yellow on this track, if I put my yellow line in that area, I know I'm like within a couple of millimeters of the edge of the track. So using those reference points helps a lot when it comes to finding the limits and stuff like that. Like here, for example, oh, we're dirt dropping. And especially here as well, you transition back. Put my area, I kind of put in a certain area there, and I know I'm still in the zone. Something like that. Bert Hans is a huge talent. Yeah, Nick Nack, he's pretty good. Obviously, his transitions when chasing are pretty special. But you know, his car, like he's kind of like in Oman. So now my car is similar in that sense. But in Oman, especially, there's a point of where your car is the perfect balance for it, right? So like Burton's car makes about 500 horsepower to the wheels, 500 wheel. Now his car is way lighter than mine. He's probably like 1,000 kilograms. It's an LS with carbon Kevlar, so it's probably pretty lightweight. My car weighs about 1,200 kilos, but it probably makes about 50 horsepower more, like at the wheels. And so they're pretty similarly matched. Obviously, we haven't battled this year yet, and hopefully we get the opportunity to. But in the chase position, his car, you could tell it's just way better reacting to steering input and stuff. He's just got a better setup on it. I'm still struggling with my car a little bit. We have the speed, we have the balance, like you mentioned, Alex, but I'm still struggling with some alignment stuff on the front, so we're going to try and get that sorted when we get over there. And there's a lot of stuff on my car I want to change. Oh, sugar. I'm struggling with that area right there. I think I'll have to do some setup stuff afterwards. Won't waste time doing it now. Like, we'll talk about the Omen stuff a little bit later. I'll show some videos and stuff, and I'll talk about my issues I've been having. And hopefully I might show you guys. Oh. I'll after this run here, I'll have a read of chat. Oh, running wide. That's not a good line. That's not good either. Yeah. No, it's going in there. Nick is from your Latvian. What's up, Oscars? Huge fan of that car. Simple and efficient. It's pretty simple. I wouldn't say it's simple. It's simple in the sense it's a stock engine. But like the bodywork and stuff on it, like I mean, it's pretty rough. It's obviously been used and abused. But it's carbon Kevlar. You know, the body on that car alone is probably the cost of my chassis. But like he's very, very, very good. I think he's very well matched to the car, and despite the power output, as much as people might think it's a disadvantage, it is in a sense. But he's running the tires he's running, I think works with the car. The weight he has works with the power, and I think the track suits his car pretty good. Like if we were competing, let's say on Riga style tracks, like Bikernicki, I think if he was up against, like, let's say the Ham's S14, he would start to struggle because the Ham would have the extra bit of power, throw a bit more grip into it, you know. I'm kind of in the same line as Nick Nack that way. Like my car is pretty well balanced, probably not as good as his, but like the track suits my car because it's one of those tracks you don't need crazy power, and actually having less power with a little bit less grip is actually better because you don't need to left foot brake everywhere. And you can just shorten up your gearing to like make it sit on the rev limiter everywhere, and it's just easier to drive. Thank you very much, Johnson. Yeah, 2 podiums. Only driver so far to bring back 2 trophies back to back. Well, of the international drivers. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy about that. Obviously, we're still third in points, so I think Churba is leading it with Nick Nack second. So they're the only 2 guys that have won in the event, but they finished top 8 both time respectively. And I think the only difference between us is that qualifying positions. So I qualified first and qualified first at round 1 and obviously 8 at round 2, but then that means I get less points at round 2, but I finished third, and there's a 40-point difference between first and third event, which is ridiculous, but it is what it is. Good. Okay. There was something I wanted to adjust my cockpit. I'll be honest, I think I'm coming down with something. No, you know what I'm feeling like? Okay, my dash camera centered. Maybe it is centered. I think we'll go a little bit further back, and I think I might sit a bit higher. Don't really need to make these changes. I've been wanting to do it for a while, I just haven't got a chance yet. Okay. Oh, built. Whoa, that was weird. Appreciate it, Inferno. Thank you so much. What's up, Rickard? Do you have to download the other competitors' cars to join? Yes. So I have to download every single car. There's like 6 gigabytes of cars. And I'm in a server. The server is split in half at the moment. So there's one half of the guys are in server 2. I'm in server 1. Oops. That's Skyline. I'm still learning the front of my car. I don't know why. I stopped driving for like a couple of weeks when it comes to the sim, and then I forget how to transition behind people. Hopeless. Absolutely hopeless, so was I. Steering wheel. Oh, dirt dropping badly. Oh, missing that zone. So chat, what have you guys been up to? What would you have you been doing much? I mean, I don't really see, has there been much released for AC recently? I haven't been keeping an eye on things, so I assume nothing really new is out. I'm definitely coming down with something. I feel a bit choked up. Fellow human with the follow, appreciate that. Try the prime drink. I don't think we get that in Ireland. I was told it was pretty shit, so I probably won't buy it. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been in the shop in ages, so I don't know. Thank you, Vibes Drift. Did I change the setup for this season? Yeah, so I'm going to be re-releasing the S15s with the new data that we're running for this season. And okay, my plan with the prototype S15s right now. The initial, actually, so let me backtrack a little bit. The plan for this season of VDC was to run a 370Z, and we just couldn't get it finished in time. So we just pulled out the Trust CS15 again. We did a bit of work to it data-wise, and that's what we're running right now. So, but VDC have changed how they do things. So, for example, now you need to run the same suspension data as everyone else with the S15. So we have very little adjustability we can make now. All we can do is gearbox, engine, and some other bits and pieces. We can't change like abdomen or cast or anything like that. Obviously we still have a normal car setup file that we can adjust, which we can do anyway like an AC. So this car is now basically the same as VDC public car, just minus a few different things. So we're going to release this one, and then I'm also going to release another version of this car, which will be like exactly the same as the current VDC S15 public ones, so that, you know, they're exactly the same. So it's just a different body shell basically, and so that people then, when they're hosting their servers, they can have my car in it and Reese's car and the normal VDC cars and still be the same pace, because these cars will be a tiny bit quicker than the public ones. Just minor, and that's just to do with some little bits and pieces that we have extra in the that's just because there's some extra stuff in the rule book that we can change on the public cars, on our cars, that we can't change on public cars because obviously they're public, they're encrypted. So there'll be, like, in total there'll probably be like 3 S15s, because we'll release another one then as well that has the data from last season, just with the new tires and stuff, which will be pretty hard car to drive actually, because it's pretty gripped up. People liked it, so we'll probably re-release that again as well. So there'll probably be, there'll probably be 3 S15s of this, 3 BDC Pro S15s, and then I might release a street car version as well, which just has a little bit more power and a different type of data on it, which is probably like 400 horsepower. Something ideal for like my hand or something like that. You should make some collab with some YouTubers. Yeah, something I've thought about doing before. To be honest, I've talked to G2 Fast. I know him as well, and I don't know, I just never really had the time for it. So maybe we might do something like that in the future. I've been trying to do stuff like on my own recently. I know collab stuff, like if you were trying to grow a YouTube channel or something, like doing collab stuff obviously helps a lot. But I don't think it works as well as it does anymore, so. But yeah, it would be cool to do some collab stuff with people. Figure something like that out in the future. The Turbo Flutter. We should meet me at LZ Fest. I was at LZ Fest. I was driving on the Sunday. Well, I was driving on both days. Yeah. Seeing at Jaffest. What's up, Ricardo? Yeah, man. Yeah. Jaffest was a wet one. Alright, let's do try and get a good run in here, because I want to have a look at the replay. We'll do that. So this track, chat, is pretty fucking, I don't know, man. It's pretty tough. Oh shit. It's pretty tough. You don't really have a chance to get on the person's door on this track. It's like, speed is so like, in my opinion, oh jeez, Brandon. In my opinion, really good drift tracks are the ones where like you progressively slow throughout. And this one is kind of like that. It doesn't seem to like reward it for doing that, you know. This, you kind of lose speed throughout the run, yeah, but you don't really get rewarded for it initially. I think probably because the initiation is too quick. Maybe actually if the initiation was further away, so it was more higher speed, but you had to handbrake initiate, it might make it a bit. Yeah. Shane with the follow. What's up, Shane? Thank you for that, my man. Right. We got Victor, and he's, well, it's actually Chevrolet Lumina, even though it's technically Pontiac G8. Rain comps? I don't know. I don't know will they ever do that, to be honest. Maybe, but I don't think. No, actually, no, I don't think they would, unless they were able to randomize it somewhere. What, the track Pontus or the rain? Good, but not dynamic ones. But I think like if it ever is like Gran Turismo, where like, you know, you can make it come in at a certain time or something, like scripted almost, or randomize it, then yeah, I could see for it. But I don't know how it would I don't know what that would bring to it, you know, like a lot of people like watch drifting because it's always for the tire smoke and speed. So like if we're just purposely handicapping ourselves in the virtual world because of potentially a little being more realistic, then I don't know if it's a good thing either. Like it's a bit like so of course here in the sim we were able to run different camera views and different hardware and steering rotation and stuff. Like you could argue that you could handicap the quality of competition by restricting camera views, by restricting hardware limitations and stuff like that, right? But like in the real world, if we were able to kind of get away with this stuff and make the competition better, oh shit, what the fuck? Then we would be doing it, right? So I don't know, would having a wet event really add anything other than maybe just a once-off? Maybe as a like as a winter thing or something. Oh, what's up, Ander? Whoa, we're just falling off the track. That's unusual. But I mean, there's always a place for rain, you know? Like the rain in AC is great for taking photos. I don't know if it's a good experience to drive in. It feels like it's still hit and miss at the moment. Hope to make some tandems in DMVC 23. Hopefully so. I mean, as of right now, it's not looking very positive if there's going to be a championship or not, because we haven't had any notification on it. So hopefully don't let us hanging, or at least if it's not hanging, if it's not happening, just tell us, you know. Oh my god, falling off the try. I'm gonna have to make some setup changes later. Hey, what's up, Live Fast? Miss these kind of streams? Well, they'll be happening a lot more often this season. Well, not more often, but they'll be happening this season like last year. I don't know how boring it gets for you guys of just one person driving the same track layout over and over and over again for like 2 hours or an hour or whatever. So at the end of this one, well, maybe in the next 10 minutes or so, we're on YouTube, we have a look at some of my driving from Oman. If you guys are interested, we'll have a chat about it. See if there's anything that you guys like to see or talk about. Wondering where I went. Yeah. No, I started off a stream, bro. What's up, bike? Oh, over angled there a little bit. So what I've noticed, so there's a couple of things I need to work on this car tonight, later on tonight, when I'm by myself, when I'm not with you guys. I need to work. There's a door open. Cat. The car doesn't seem to like to doesn't have a lot of grip on big angle, mid corner. It seems to wash away the rear a little bit, especially here. Doesn't really have that drive, so I might try a little bit more toe on the rear, try and see if I can get a bit more forward grip out of it. How do you get cars put into VDC which are not already there? So like Victor's car here, obviously he put in the request that he wanted to drive Pontiac G8 or Chevy Lumina, but there's already one of those cars done already. I think it's Rampage is his name or something like that. AOM Rampage. Can't think of his name, his actual name. He drove one in DMVC. So there's definitely a bit of information out there, but usually chassis are completely unusual. So one year there was a VW Scirocco and they just decided to put BMW E46 data. So some of the unusual cars, they'll just turn around and say, look, we'll just say that we'll just allow you to chassis swap it, basically, which is understandable. I mean, look, to be honest with you, the VW Scirocco with S chassis data is not going to beat Nissan S chassis, so it's not going to make any difference, like, or BMW data or whatever. So, you know, I think it's fine. Obviously, if you're going to drive a Nissan S chassis or 370Z or the BMW or a Supra or something, you're going to have to use the data that they have for that chassis, and that's end of. But yeah, if you do submit a car that's like like if you submit a car that's not really done before or not in the championship already, then they will either try make data for it, or if they don't have enough information, they will simply just chassis swap it like an RC car. Sidco, it's probably possible. I'm not really sure. I've never used those devices. What sort of rotation does your wheelbase have? 900 degrees. The Simucube can go up to 1300, I think, 1300 or 1400 or something. Stay with Victor, not really able to door him. That's the thing with this track, guys. You can't actually like hit the person on the door or rub the door. It doesn't really reward you for doing that. You don't have enough time to like suck up onto the door and then drop back to transition, and you know, you don't really have that timing. The track is just a little bit too quick that way. Yeah, VDC is tomorrow, Dard. Yeah, man, it's starting at about 4:30 p.m. GMT. Are we in 0? GMT 0, so it's Irish UK time. No, yeah, it's 0 because it's not summertime. Oh man, I just can't get that lick sorted. Are you ever coming? Are you ever going to come back, Dart, or have you kind of lost your license? It's been a while since you've driven. colliders on cars, dude. Ugh. Yeah, still the same time. Yep. What changed from last season? So data-wise, you can't like you're kind of locked with the public data. So if I run an S15, after on S15 suspension, I can't change any of the suspension pickup points. Like, so I can't change Arcman or Caster or Roll Center or anything like that. It's kind of locked. So everyone's kind of on the same playing field. I mean, you can still adjust weight distribution, the weight of the car, the tire class, your fuel cell, like if you want to run a wing or not. That stuff is still the same, but the more nitty-gritty stuff, you know, like pickup points and all that is locked. You're still doing iRacing. Yeah, I seen you're doing some cool stuff over there, man, so yeah, I wish you the best of luck. What's up, Salmon? Yeah, it's a lot more restricted now. Yeah, of course. The problem now is that if you're not happy with the base public data, which last season, I'll be honest with you, chat, last season the public data was probably its worst it's ever been since they started it. There was some pretty broken cars in a negative way. They were pretty broken. And they needed the data change. They needed to be adjusted data-wise. But luckily this season the guys have done a really good job on the public stuff. So it means that there's no need to really adjust anything anymore because they're about kind of what you would expect. They're kind of the best that they're ever going to be, really. Like the S15 data has been kinematically scanned and implemented into AC, so like this is probably the closest S chassis to real life in terms of suspension pickup points and stuff. Red, that's a good question. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. You probably could compete in VDC with mouse steer or even controller, but I don't know. We've never had it happen before, so I don't know would they be very open to it. I wouldn't be able to answer that question for you, to be honest. Yeah, T-Con is still around. Okay, chat, we're gonna have a quick look at my couple events that I had in Oman. Excuse me. So we're just going to swap over screen here. I'm going to bring up YouTube. Do this. Desktop. Yeah. Okay, we'll do this. So we're going to go to the. We're going to watch some Oman stuff. So chat, we're going to stop VDC practice for now. Take a bit of a break. A little bit of a break. How can I join an esports drift team? I don't know, there's plenty of teams out there. Maybe just hang out with them. There's no real esports organizations, I'd be honest. But there is you know, there is teams out there. Right, so let's have a quick look at Oman. That was qualifying, and no, they didn't even qualify. They didn't even show round one qualification. So I don't have the runs from qualifying round one. They never did it. So we'll just go straight into battles, right? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, you guys can. So let's, oh, that's me. So we were the first battle of top 32. Watch. Hopefully Oman crowd are okay with me sharing this. But This was round 1 of Oman. So if you guys don't know, we've been competing in the Oman International Championship for 2023. No sound for this. I don't know if that's the... But anyway, this is our first battle. This was up against Nasser. He's from Qatar. And yeah, obviously we qualified first. So, you know, doing what we do best in the lead run. And I was pretty disappointed with how the car was handling at this point. You can see him dropping wheels and stuff here. We had 0 practice in top 32 practice. We had no practice. So we did our qualifying runs. We had a clutch issue. And then we had to prepare for battles with no practice. So I kind of went in there blind, not really knowing what the track conditions were going to be like. And so because of that, we kind of went with a safe... Whoa! Ian!
We are live from Oman, Muscat.
Jeez, Ian is like... Oh, you bombed us. So, meant that we had to win with a safe tire pressure just to make sure we could do the track. Because as you can see, it's sunny, it's warm. I wasn't really sure how grippy it was going to be. And I did the run and I had no grip. Seriously, 0 grip. So, not really ideal to be honest. So anyway, that was the first run. Not much to show about that, so we'll go to the second one.
Last night and all day today, that's the first time that Alan Hines drove that car on the circuit today. And Alan Hines doing an incredible job. We now swap them around. Messiah to lead in.
Oh, it's Messiah. Sorry, not Nasser. My bad. Sorry, Nasser. And you can see straight away this guy is way faster than us. Look at him, he's like 3-4 car lengths, but look, his lead run is not the greatest. He's got one wheel in the box right there. He's looking decent. Transitions here. The outside zone again, but we're struggling to chase him. He's got way more speed than us. That car has got a lot of power. Dropping wheels. He's leaving that zone early. He has a really bad wobble, and I think he misses the zone completely. Yeah, he does. He doesn't get a wheel into it. So anyway, basically that went one more time. I was pretty lucky with that one, to be honest, because they could have given it to him, and if they did give it to him, I think it would have made really good sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, to give it to him. But I think it was either him or one more time, and they went one more time, and I think that's fair enough. So anyway, we move on. Again. Where the hell is that? Oh, here we go. So this time we dropped the tire pressures by like 10 psi. And the car, this run was actually way better. You can see the car is a lot more gripped up now. And he actually even struggles to keep up through clip 2 a little bit. We're actually putting a bit of a gap on him. We dot drop or dot drop. We drop a wheel ourselves. Yeah, pretty decent lead run so far, I think, other than the wheel drop. But through here, we transition across. You can see the car is really gripped up. We're even struggling to transition and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was not a bad lead run, making it super easy from the Jesus, to be honest. So, okay. True, I don't think there's much to say here. I mean, he has a decent chase, but I mean, it's not spectacular by any means. He was still pretty quick, like, he could still win this. And he's pretty quick off the line. We follow him in. And he just understeers off the track, and he's gone. Oh. A bit of a smash there into the water barriers. So after that, obviously, we get them in. We move on. Nothing to worry about. I think I just basically finish off the run, because this was probably my 4th lap of the track that day. So I was just trying to get as much seat time as possible. And nothing much to say. Right, we move on. Okay, so next up, we're gonna go to top 16.
I'll take that one when I get it.
Oh, here we go. So this is an ad. B&Q Kitchens. Who wants to go to B&Q Kitchens? There you go. Appreciate it. Thank you, B&Q. Right, so we'll skip on along here. For this battle, we had Ali Al-Shihani. And I've driven with Ali a few times before. We've battled each other. Ali's one of the local drivers. He's from Muscat. He's from Oman. Really cool guy. But his car is pretty sick. A lot of power. Yeah, we've got Ali Al-Shihani right now. Fine. Right. Chat, who do you think is going to win? Huh? Who's going to win? I know who's going to win. But yeah, we have Ali Al-Shihani. And this is my 5th lap of the track today. by this stage I kind of been up to, I've now kind of gotten used to driving the track, so yeah, there's no need to there's no need to use that excuse at all. This is my only 5th lap. Like, I mean, so kind of my 5th lap will be my like lap that I would have after 4 laps of practice. Like, I don't really do many more than that. But yeah, you can see the car is proper gripped up now. Like, the track conditions have cooled. I don't block Origin as an extension, no more ads. Yeah, but like, you know, I'm a streamer, I'm a YouTuber as well, like, so the ads help me, so I'm going to help other people watching the ads too. It's not the end of the world. Obviously helps Oman with the bit of revenue they make from the ads, so I have no problem supporting him. Okay, so that was all about lead run. I didn't really watch it, but I mean, we pulled the gap. Ali had a few mistakes. Show a pretty clean lead run. We see background? No, we don't. So Reese Patterson, my esports teammate, he was spotting for me for this event. So he was shouting through me through the window how hard I needed to push and stuff. And he said, oh, he made lots of mistakes. Made a few mistakes, so there's no need to really push it hard. So I kind of took it a little bit easy, but I think, you know, I kind of had no choice but to stay with him close as well, because his car has a lot of power and makes a lot of tire smoke. And he was kind of not really running the full line. He was kind of leaving the line early in places. So if I was out wide on the line and he was not on the line, I could get smoked out and make a mistake. So I was literally just following him around the track because I didn't want to get lost in his tire smoke. So you could argue, oh, I should have hung further back, but I think I did best I could, really. And you can see I'm getting lost in the tire smoke here. I was trying to be careful. But yeah, anyway, not much to say. We win that battle anyway, and I think we won to grade 8, and we go up against a guy by the name of Dmitrio from Ukraine. There's a pretty well.
In a full throttle zone, but only enough. Unfortunately, can't really do a mistake.
That's still top 16. I got Riley stuff or advertisements. Come on. Oh, here we go. This is Dmitrio. He's from Ukraine. YouTube Premium gives the creators a little bit of yeah, true. You should probably get Premium. It's like it's only like a tenner a month or something like that. It's not that bad, considering, like, you know, considering I'm always on the social media of YouTube. I should probably really get it. But anyway, this is Dmitrio. So he's from Ukraine. His car was pretty nice, actually. He's pretty well built by the Ham, and yeah, he had pretty decent power, pretty decent gear. You think there was some suspension issues he was telling me about, so no, it could be better in the future. But we get in. I think we're carrying good speed through the outer first couple of clips. Kind of struggling to keep up. I watched a few of Dimitrio's lead runs, and I could see that he had a really good lead, so I needed the speed in the lead position at least. And I could do a little bit better. I'm not really running the outside line as deep as I'd like to be. But we have pretty decent speed here, you know. He's not able to like door us, but he's not exactly, we're not exactly getting away from him either. He's following us pretty well. So yeah, pretty decent lead, and I think for the type of chase, considering the amount of runs he had in the car, I think it was good as well. So it's not an easy job here. We're gonna have to kind of push a little bit.
Dmitrio, though, did a nice job there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to push on a little bit. So Reese is shouting at me through the window. See him? Tell me what to do. Obviously Dean as well, telling me go down the car or in the car in general.
Very, very fast. As HynesZ got the grip to keep up with him, off the line, through the gears they go. Flicks that car across.
Kind of initiate mid-track chasing. We're a bit shallow here, but we're pretty close in the proximity. He's not really in the outer zone, so probably not the best of his lead runs I think he did all night. Did an early transition, trying to get back onto the door here again, and really trying to really show the aggression that we have. Time the transition the same, and yeah, it was a pretty good chase, I think, actually, considering the few mistakes he made in the lead run and stuff. It was a pretty good battle, actually. Any plans for more power? Or will we leave that for Evo 2? This car just needs a different turbo. So I have a different turbo. I have a different turbo systems turbo. This one's running HynesZ 4064, which is a smaller exhaust housing. I have another turbo, which is the same frame, but it's just a different AR housing, and that should make us the extra 67 horsepower. Right now, this turbo is pretty good for a stock 2J, and even though the engine is built, like with rods, pistons, fillet main caps, like cams and stuff, it's still running kind of boost levels and power levels for a stock 2J, basically. So, yeah, with that other turbo, we can really start putting more pressure, or air to the engine, make some more power. That's the plan for the engine. So we'll wait till the car comes back. I could probably bring that turbo over. We could probably throw it on a dyno, make sure everything's all good. But to be honest with you, it's working fine the way it is over there. I don't really want to put it. I don't want to change too many things. Are you back in Germany this year? Probably not. I haven't entered. Maybe in a couple of months, if they're still open to receiving drivers, I might put an entry in. But probably not this year. Yeah, I had a choice of doing these 3 events or 4 events in Oman, or doing 1 event in Germany. So I was like, I think it's a no-brainer to do 4 in Oman, come back from Oman, do Driftmasters in Ireland when that comes around again, do IDC game, I don't know, whatever events happens again, maybe LZ Festival happens again, stuff like that. So anyway, we get the win from Demetrio. We'll move on. Demetrio, he also has a Simucube as a sim drifter as well. On to the top 4. When I met some kings or princes, very sorry, people. Oh man, I'm not. I think they were like ministers of defense or something like that. We were figure of 8s, and we were up against the Ham. Not the Ham. And obviously the Ham's car is pretty quick, guys. It's quite a bit of power. It's probably close to 1,000. And yeah, my priority here was just try and get a better lead run than the Ham, because I knew the car was quick. He was going to struggle trying to fulfill the zones and stuff. To be honest with you, I think this was probably my best lead run of the night so far. Yeah, he gives us a little tap on the door. Yeah, pretty smooth lead run, I think. I don't think I could do much better for what I have. Nice snappy transition at the end. Could have been a little bit wider, but you know, pretty decent lead run, I think. No point in messing with it now. Yeah, he would love that, to be honest with you. Wow. What's up? What's up, Wally? Right, so this is the replay of this. Obviously, the Ham had a good chase run on us, pretty aggressive. He wasn't really able to door us, so I think we were just a little bit too quick for him for that. I mean, okay, as I say that, he hits us in the door. Around that outside zone, you can see the tire mark on the door as Alan Hines unfazed. But yeah, pretty solid chase run from him, and I think our lead run was, you know, allowing him to do that. So anyway, let's switch it around. I'll be honest, chat. I think we're on path to win this battle, to be honest. So I'll show you what I mean. So obviously we leave the start line, pick it in, and I'm still with him on initiation. Maybe not so much there, but he's very in on the track. He's barely got a wheel in the outside zone. So by this stage, I've already won the lead run. I'm doing a better job than him, and the chase run I think was about the same as what he did. But we can see here, I come in, I give him a little tap on the door, and I get lost in the tire smoke. And obviously I lost the battle because of that. That was the end of that, so that's pretty disappointing. I do think like his lead run wasn't as good as ours, and I think if we had a chase similar, if we were just able to follow him around, we would have gotten the win. So that was a little bit disappointing, but I was pretty happy with our result considering we had no practice that day. We had a clutch failure on our last lap of qualifying. The Ham's side skirt is falling off. Actually, if you pay attention here, you'll see maybe this is why I lost pace or something. Give him a little tap there, and you can see the side skirt is now underneath my car, and you see when it transitions, the side skirt is actually right there. The yellow of it, and that was it. We kind of lost a bit of speed. I hit him in the door, and I got lost in smoke, and that was that. So he moved on to the finals. We got put into the third, fourth playoff. Did the side skirt get stuck on the wheel? Yes, I do think it did. Because when I was chasing him and I kind of tapped on the door, I did notice a massive loss of grip. But to be honest with you, with the temperatures and the heat that the tires are going through, it was pretty normal on the second lap that suddenly your tires would just like suddenly snap and you lose a bunch of grip. So, my opinion, I do think the side skirt affected us because, you know, obviously the side skirt went underneath the car. I don't know, was it the reason why I got lost in the smoke though? I think that was more driver error. At least if I, I think if I didn't get lost in the smoke, I think I would have struggled to keep up with him for the last half the track, basically. So, I think, yeah, I think that was.
Yeah, and look at this.
For a real life car or the S15? I prefer the real life car, not in terms of looks, but in terms of the fact it's actually physical and it's mine. I think if I had an S15 in real world, I don't think I'd style it exactly the same as I would in the real Sim. Yo, what up, our team? Watch this. We appreciate it. Thank you, Simon. All right, okay, let's move on to our third four playoff, and then we have a quick look at round 2. So for third four playoff, we were up against Edgar's Progress in the BMW M2. He would have been one of Nick Nack's buddies from Latvia. And yeah, obviously, look, we gapped him start. We had a pretty decent amount of speed going. Bitten flames from the Screamer. But he was there with us. I do think I could have carried a bit more angle there. I probably lacked a bit of angle there, but okay. Trying to do the same lead run we've been doing all day, which was working very well for us. Nice transition, and Edgar right there with us. So I knew, you can watch. So when I'm driving back around, so with this replay is happening, I'm driving back around the track to cool down the car. There's a massive screen. I mean, the screen is huge. So I was watching that when I was driving back around. So I kind of tell like how close he was to me, like the mistakes he was making, and how good my lead run was. And I saw my lead run, like, I mean, you know yourself as a driver, even you guys as well in the sim, what is a good lead run and what's not a good lead run. So you're like, okay, my lead run was pretty good. The chase run, you know, it's gonna be hard for him to match that lead run. So chase run, I just got a better what he did. And in the his chase run, he was a bit like stabby, and he was falling back. He was making a few mistakes. So I knew I just had to get a good clean chase on him and just stay with him. I can't remember what I did here. I think I pushed pretty hard.
What? Did I just see?
Box Prince with the YouTube, sorry, with the Prime. Appreciate that, Box. But yeah, he started making mistakes. Sorry, I missed this. He dropped the wheel. He hesitated. I dived in on the door. I think we timed the transition. I could time this transition a bit better. I would have a bit more practice. Get right on him. And the transition a little bit early, but he runs a bit wide. He's kind of making mistakes on lead run, and I saw the mistakes he was making. I knew I don't need to push too hard here. I just need to kind of get it across the finish line and show like glimpses of aggression. And I knew I was pretty confident by that stage. We kind of had gotten the win. Jamar as well with the follow. Appreciate that, Jamar. Appreciate that the Prime box. Thank you for that, man. I go to see round 3 in person. You promised to win. That's why. Yo, Salmon. I promise I will win. It's gonna be tough. No, it'll be tough, but we'll try. What I noticed is that, you know, I was talking to the team about this, right? Like, you know, we've been very lucky that our brackets for these 2 first events have been on the easier side. So don't get me wrong, none of battle is easy. But like, we haven't met Nick Nack or Daham or this Edgar or Benedictus Churba or Ali Maxid or Bagsy in like top 32 or top 16 yet. Like, in fact, we haven't even met him in the top 8 yet either. We've only met him in the top 4. Whereas a lot of these guys have battled each other already in top 8, top 16. So we've been a little bit lucky. And I think my car is at like the stretches of what it can do currently. I mean, there's definitely improvements I can make to my driving. But like I was saying to the team, like if we met any of those guys at the start, we'd be pretty strong. You know, we're going to be under a bit of pressure. And we definitely come alive later on into battles rather than at the start. I don't think they show they do show the prize giving.
Taking third step at round one of the Oidc 23 Championship is Alan HynesZ.
We obviously get third. Takes me about 15 minutes to get onto the stage. For the last round, that's always my plan, man. I want to podium every single event. I think we can do that easily. And one event, one win. I think we'll get one win. Or 2 wins. Look at that guy. He looks familiar.
Well, there we go. Alan HynesZ, ladies and gentlemen, takes
Guy with the glasses. He looks a bit cross-eyed, doesn't he? Guy looks like an idiot, man.
And with that,
fucking nerd, that's what he is.
Explosive
Right, okay,
final
moving
battle.
on. We'll look at the next round, which is round 2. We'll have a quick look through qualifying.
Here's the problem every organisation in the world is facing.
Thank you, Astra. Appreciate that. Want to know how you didn't ruin your fenders with that fitment? Yeah. The fitment is pretty good right now, isn't it?
Seems to be a bit of a trend now in international and European drifting. Get the bonnet flip, fulfill the run, try and get the job done. And as you can see underneath the bonnet, that's supercharged V8. All right, let's take a look back at the replay.
What the hell's going on with the stream?
Makes it work.
For 19. Oh, it's a reverse order because it's first championship. I thought it was number 5, so I was like, oh, I probably had to start. But anyway. Oh, we're probably before that.
Third place at the moment. Timur Lipski in second. And Naisa Al-Harbali in first place in qualifying at the moment. He said he was going to do it. He told me this morning, I'm either going to come home with a trophy or go home with no car.
Alright, okay, here we are. This is us. Right, okay, we'll go back. Right, so this is our first run. Oh, I remember what happened. Chat, you're going to be mad at me. Spoiler alert of the vlog. Anyway, Eve line, first, second, third, flicker in. And man, this track was gripped up for this run. Too much grip in the car, and I think we're actually down on power. We found a few problems with the car, so I do think we were down on power for this event, maybe like 50 horsepower, or maybe not that much, maybe 40 or 20 or 40 horsepower. But the car was gripped to the fucking moon, and in right here, and that's it. We're donezo. And basically, what happened here, we broke all the dry shaft bolts for the axle. So, yeah, that's first time it's ever happened. Never happened to me ever before. Don't think it was to do with the grip. I think they were actually fatigued. I think they were going to die anyway. So, not the end of the world. So, anyway, move on to our second run. That is. Oh, where are you? Oh. Right, here we are again. I know this guy. You can see with the amount of smoke, it looks limited on power wise. Get that turbo on and be home. Yeah, of course. Like we were even saying, like, if we could get more tire smoke from the initiation, like right here, you can see there's barely anything coming up. It would look much better for the judges, you know. Show more commitment. So far, this run is looking way better on the edge of the line. Dirt dropping, or dirt drop, not even dirt drop. Dropping the wheel a little bit, middle of the zone, could be a little bit better there. And we transition back across on the edge of this track, taking the right line to the inside zone. Yeah, not too bad. That was an 89. That put us 8 qualifying, so not too bad. Unfortunately, we didn't get first, which is disappointing. Nothing we could do about that. But yeah, I'll take that, considering that for the first run we broke all the dry shaft bolts. Excuse me. Right, okay, moving on. Back to round 2 battles. So we're now in a battle bracket, and to be honest, out of the 4 brackets, so like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, we were in the top left one. We probably had arguably the easier one. You know, we didn't have, we wouldn't meet. I think the only person that was a championship hunt was Turba. That was top 4. But that was a pretty big deal, to be honest. So we were the last battle of top 16 or top 32. Or sorry, we were the last battle of our bracket on top 32. So we'll back here. So we were up against Nicholas Sullum. I've known Nicholas for years. I've been obviously watching him drive over there. I used to go over there and help out at events and stuff like that. And I've judged him as well. Yeah, he's a great driver. So obviously battling him, I was like, okay, out of all the guys, he's probably the most consistent and, you know, the most aggressive. But you know, he's not the fastest. I think this BMW is pretty heavy, and he's kind of just making the most of what he can do, you know, with what he has. And now we're wheel dropping here, which is not obviously ideal, but I still think it's better to wheel drop there than not to be the zone at all. But yeah, he's making a few mistakes. And yeah, Handbrake's not really locking correct. I mean, my lead run wasn't my best. I could have done a few better lead runs, I suppose. But I found that during the day, like so around like 4, maybe 5 o'clock over there, the track was at its weirdest. It was like super greasy, super loose. And it's obviously when the sun came down, then it got really gripped up. Don't really need luck, bro. But I appreciate the support anyway, Astra. Thank you, man. Reading back. Is that the Roblox guy? I don't think so. Probably, maybe. Tell me, Alan, what is your goal? Series FD or Drift Masters? I would love to do Drift Masters. I would love to do FD. I think I could do both at the same time, to be honest. Oh, I don't see why we can't. But what I would love to do is obviously do Drift Masters with my car. We're building another S14 chassis at the moment. I should have that pretty soon. And at the end of this year, we will move all of components from this car, Evo 1 into Evo 2, which is the new chassis, another S14. And that car will be like chassis wise and everything else wise ready for Drift Masters, gear and everything like that. What I don't have is enough spares. I don't have the proper like equipment in terms of like tools and stuff like that. I don't have the right like vehicle, like transport. So I need to sort all that out, and that's the difficulty with doing Drift Masters, is that you need to kind of spend the cost of your race car on just getting the car there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difficulty there. Sammy with the tier 1 for 9 months, man. What the hell? Thank you, Sammy. Look, hey guys. Appreciate that, Sammy. Thank you so much. Oscar as well with the follow. Brendan Mitchell as well with the follow as well. Guys, thank you. And HynesZ is taking out James Dean. Oh man, I wish. Look, I've battled James Dean a few times before. Mind you, I was a little bit handicapped in cars I wasn't comfortable with. But yeah, it's always a pleasure to drive one. And like, I've qualified second behind him and stuff like that in events. I finished third behind him in events as well here in Oman. So that was a privilege to kind of in that kind of same circle as him, you know. So that's pretty cool. But this battle here with Nicholas, obviously, you know what Nicholas is like in these positions, pretty good. So you have a good clean chase on him. He obviously made a few mistakes, so we don't need to do anything crazy here. And I've messed my transition up, so I need to improve my transition work. That's one thing I've noticed when watching back the streams and stuff. But I do remember his lead run wasn't the cleanest. Like, no, actually no, the lead run was pretty good. I actually remember saying to him, lead run was really nice, and I was thanking him for it. But he was just a little bit slow, and I think that made it a little bit difficult because I couldn't commit to him on transition because I wasn't sure, you know, would he have the momentum or not. You could see here, like, he did a oh. Thank you, Eurocamp. Guys, any of you want to go to Eurocamp? You can Euro Splash, Euro Chill, Euro Grill, Euro Smash. But you can see his lead run was actually pretty sweet. Positioned nicely as well out to this outside zone 4. Outside zone 4, and he transitions into 5. A little wobble. I can't remember how deep he was here. I think he might have left it a little. Yeah, he wasn't super deep. That one, transition back. Shallow there as well. I was just playing it safe. I knew by that stage. So, 1JZ, no to 2J. J2J. Make love in a minute. Whoa, what the hell is fast? Because then when you do seize the Drift Masters, yeah, you're looking at the cost of the car. Do Drift Masters. Which is nothing on FD. Like, for me to do FD, I'd have to ship a car there. I'd have to do the full season. The cost of entering FD alone is more expensive than Drift Masters, to my understanding. So there's a lot more money having to be invested into it. So yeah, that's kind of how it is. Pity, but it is what how things. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, sorry, John. Right, top 16 with Hussein. I know Hussein for many years. He's actually an ex-VDC Pro driver. So a lot of us would have competed with Hussein back in the day. Now he's just prioritizing his life driving. But Chad, I have a bit of a mission to make. I have to admit something to you. I made a bit of a boo-boo here, and I'll be honest, I do not know how we won this battle. Well, I kind of know how, but we were very, very lucky. Very, 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 very lucky. Anyway, so let's drive on. Come on, send us. First, second, and I misshifted straight to first. Yes, I money shifted. So, we'll take off from the start line again. Let's watch this back. I go first, second. I go to click the third, and I went to first. That's what happens. So like what I was doing, I was going like first, second, and then I was using the upshift to third to flick the car in. And instead of clicking third, I went back to first again. And I think it revved to like 9,000. Not really ideal, to be honest. But anyway, I shifted back to third and I sent it. The rest of the run, there's no issues with the engine or gearbox or anything, so we sent it on. And I think the rest of the lead run here was actually very, very good. Probably one of my better lead runs I've ever done. But you can see, I messed up my initiation. The only thing I'll say here, chat, right? So, by luck, look, I'm actually sideways by initiation line. Look at my back wheels. The front wheels are at the clip, but my back wheels are actually sideways. So, this is not a 0, right? In the eyes of the judges. This is not a 0. So, if you see it again, I pick it in. Yes, I drive straight. And I'm actually driving straight by this stage. But I asked the judges about this, and they said, well, the reason why we didn't give you a 0 was because that it was a failed initiation, so it was a massive deduction. Like you're talking like 9-1, which means I was probably lost a load of points. Not only that, but look, Hussein behind us, he messed it up as well because he was expecting us to initiate, but we were driving straight. And it was just by pot luck I managed to get the car sideways before clip 1, which meant that it wasn't. If I was still driving through clip 1, it would have been a 0 more or less. And obviously that messed up Hussein. You can see he has to do a wobble. So by this stage, the judges said to me, I was 9-1 down. So Hussein had 9, I had 1. Means basically he had a huge advantage. It was almost impossible to overturn. And I knew I had made a mistake. I wasn't sure if it was 0. I wasn't sure if it was a 9-1 or 8-2 or whatever. But I knew from this point on, I needed to nail my lead run. So anyway, I basically kind of nail it. But Hussein in the chase position is struggling to kind of keep up. He's a wobble, he's a strain, he's on the inside of the track. He's losing points all the time here. I'm gaining back points all the time here from his mistakes. Transition outside here, he actually kind of drops a wheel. He has a hesitation. He drops further back. Not even in the outside zone there. And he gets lost in the smoke a tiny bit. On the inside of the track, doesn't even cross the last outside zone. So by this, he had a 6-4 advantage. So he still had an advantage, but it was 6 to him, 4 to me. Right? So then it comes to the chase position. Now, by this stage, you can see that I'm driving back around, whatever. I'm watching the screen here on the left. See my mistake. And I was like, Reese told me, he's like, Alan, you're going to have to push. So, skip through. Send this on. I knew I have to push hard. Like, view this battle as like T-Con leading kind of situation. So I flicked it in. And on his rear wheel all the way through clip 2. Making a few mistakes. He's dropping wheels a little bit. Lead run is probably not as nice. Could have been. Transitions here again. It drops another wheel. I'm still pushing him around the place here. Give him a little tap on the door. He drops wheel out. It's probably shared fault there, to be honest. Drops another wheel here. There's a hesitation there. I have a wobble they're chasing. And we transition into the final outside zone. And I don't really make it, but I think, yeah, of course. And I think they gave us a 7-3 advantage for that, which meant that we got the battle win. I was kind of amazed by that, to be honest. Surprised. Yo. That we kind of got that advantage in that battle win, because in my eyes, like, I had a huge mistake. I messed him up on initiation. He was struggling to keep up. I was like, it was kind of set, done at that point. So, anyway, you get the battle win for that. We move on. I was very lucky about that one, to be honest. I don't really know how we got that. But we had a good talk about it, me and afterwards, and he was still happy with the battle. Considering. Next up, we had Clint van Oud, the Netherlands. Also, my favorite moment was when he shouted down the phone to Stephen Bagsy, "Chicken nuggets." So I don't know why, but chicken nuggets is now in my head instead of chicken nuggets. What's the Garn? You're lucky for that one. Yeah, gents, I was super lucky. Don't get me wrong, I think the decision they made is probably the right one. But the fact that, like, after all of that, you know, if I didn't chase hard, if he didn't make those mistakes, it would have been his battle, and we would have been knocked out in the top 16. So we flick in. Clint and I are basically same cars, right? 2Js, S14, Origin Labo. But you can see Clint's making mistakes on his side. But he does a pretty decent chase from this point on. And coming into this outside zone here, or this outer clip, on power, and there's a bit of contact. I want to show that again, because I've watched this back a few times. Let's figure out what happened. Looks like he hits me in the front wheel. Looks like he hits me in the front wheel here. That pushes me forward, and in the back hits me rear wheel. I drop a wheel. I don't really know if that really happened or not. But anyway, cross the finish line, and that's it, done. So, not much to say there. I mean, I kind of had to push pretty hard despite the contact. But I remember specifically this one, I remember coming back into the burnout box to turn back around. And as I turned into the burnout box, I heard a massive, like, bang, bang, bang in the back right wheel where he hit. And I was like, oh, there's something damaged here. And it was such a loud bang that usually I would say a 5-minute rule, but I wasn't sure if that would be enough time. So I wanted to see if we could get a 10-minute timeout. Like, if I wanted the judges to determine who was the I wanted to see if the judges could determine to see, like, at fault for the contact. So then they spent the next, I'm not even joking, look, spent the next like 5-10 minutes making the decision. As you can see, Reese is there, Dean Martin, there, the marshals are there, there for ages. I felt like it was there forever. Got one of Clint's guys as well there hanging out. He's a good guy. But
interesting. There we go. Interesting.
No idea.
Going on from our Hines at fault for the contact, whether he was on full throttle from outside zone 5. So
what's happened? I remember watching this back, and I think Clint's guy shaking his head, which is understandable too. Good-o! He's far from. He has a better front end. Oh yeah, definitely. Cookie versus Inky, exactly. Yeah. It's taking forever. As you can see, we're here for ages. Watch it. Like. They're still deciding. Oh, no guy presenting. Oh, and yeah, they granted us a 10-minute timeout. So basically, boys looked at the car, and there was actually nothing wrong with it. It was just a wheel. They were giving us 10 minutes to change the wheel, but only changing one wheel, because I thought the wheel was like buckled. It was badly damaged, and I thought there was more damage to the car. As it turned out, it was just a big massive lump of rubber stuck to the fucking tire, and that's what the knocking noise. So not long after that, I went back into the burnout box. Like, I'd say it wasn't even 3 minutes. It was sour decision at the end. Yeah, I think so, and I can understand why, because they felt that I decelled in a non-decel area. But I mean, to be honest with you, I can't tell you if I did or don't. You know, I can't even remember what I did 5 minutes ago. You know, and everything happens in heat moments. So, like, I knew at this stage I had an advantage because they warranted the timeout to me. But, you know, unfortunately, Clint is making a few mistakes. You know, he's not really fulfilling the lead line that he's supposed to. And I think from the contact, there was actually damage in his car here and he spins. So, yeah, I don't know. Basically, we kind of get the win from that, obviously. So, but not really a great battle. I kind of wish. First of all, I kind of wish I never called a 10-minute timeout, like or asked for them to or whatever, because one, it was not really necessary, but two, yeah, I don't know. We just wish we had a cleaner battle. Yeah, we get the battle, we'll win, we move on. Not the way that we would like to go, but then Chirba and Alamri go at it like 15 million times. And go at it again. Got the 2 wheels driver guy on 2 bags in the passenger seat. And we have another break for like half an hour. Have Maxid and Vasiliauskas. Oh, and then we have Chirba. Battle with Chirba. Leading in Chirba. And we're pretty okay at this stage, and my initiation could have been better. But I think at this point here, we're looking pretty sweet. Transition back with him, and I kind of drop a wheel here, and I kind of lose a bit of distance. Shortcut back up against his door. Time the transition, I'm pretty happy with the time of that transition. That looked pretty good, actually. Better than what I was doing at the during round 1 and at the start of this particular event. And transition aggressively, give him a little tap on the door. I do think he had a hesitation there, it looked like, but maybe that might have been from the contact of me. Anyway, watch back the replay. Don't care about the cone hits at the start. Yeah, so they take it into consideration. So if there's a cone hit at the start, but the chase driver is still on the door from initiation, then they kind of disregard it almost. Because there was no advantage gained. If someone hits the cone, and there's like a 15 car length gap or like a 5 car length gap, then they'll take it into consideration and apply a penalty at the end. Instead of having all of this like protesting of like false starts and having a guy like this track is like a slab of tarmac. It's a car park, so it's kind of hard to have a guy at the edge of the track to stop people continuing to run, because they do half a lap, tires are gone, new tires on the car, wasting of time, loads of waste of time. So they try to avoid that, and they kind of do it by a case by case basis. Was the cone hit hard? Yes. It was hard. Did the person gain an advantage? No, he didn't. So disregard the thing.
We get ready, Ali Maxid. Who will take it to the first?
Okay, move on. Skip on a little bit here. I think there's a little door tap there. You can see right on the door with him.
Look at that, bam. Little touch on that dive. That's what
nice little dive.
I guess. Yeah, there was. Look at that.
Yeah, pretty cool. Switch positions. This was probably my worst lead run I've ever done. Barely made the first outer zone. He gives me a hard hit on the door. But I felt like the car at this point was down on power. I kind of struggled to try and really fulfill the zones and stuff. I was having to push it harder and I was making more mistakes. You can see I'm not even in the zone right now. Barely in it. Transition back. You can even see the amount of tire smoke the car is making and stuff is not as much as it was before. So it felt a little bit sluggish. Not horrendous, but just felt a little bit sluggish. Especially at the mid-range. Up high it was fine, but down low it was a bit bad. And so you can see my flick initiation wasn't the greatest. And the rest of this corner was kind of mediocre. Making a bunch of mistakes in the 2 outer zones. The rest of this was okay. I could have done a better job here in the final transition. Had a bit of a hesitation. Managed to get across the line. But at this point we had an issue with the car. We called a 5-minute rule for our 3rd, 4th playoff battle, because we actually lost this to Turbo. Turbo got the win to this. Inside the car trying to keep it running because the car wanted to shut off on me. A little bit more. As you can see, I'm now gone because I'm trying to cool the car down to try and figure out why is the car breaking up or struggling to stay running. And back up, he gets the win. Back to the pit. Right, and then we have another 20-minute break. I have Vasiliauskas of another Lithuanian guy. He's now sitting at the start line, and the 5-minute rule is called. Basically, 2 bolts out of my cam gear for my exhaust fell out, which meant that it had I can't say the word because it's obviously demonetized, but basically it unadvanced timing of the engine, especially on the exhaust cam. The car was running super rich, and also my VCT or my VVTi solenoid for the 2J failed as well. So I was down on power and I was very close to losing an engine.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see,
But we didn't realize the cam issue until after this battle with Vasiliauskas. So we call it 5-minute rule. We managed to get it sorted. The team was good. We got into the burn-up box. Don't worry about that. And I was kind of a bit flustered with the whole situation, and I got gapped off the line. And yeah, Vasiliauskas, man, he was so fast. Look at him, thing just tree-wheeling everywhere. Get back onto his door here, but then he transitions, and then yeah, we get left. So I couldn't keep up with him at this point. Pulls away from us. Kind of get back onto him here a little bit, but then he pulls again, a bit of a gap. He's not really in the outside zone, but he kind of is. Yeah, so not a great chase run for me, to be honest, chat. Like, much better, but greatest.
Wow, car up to 11 flies through that first house. A little move in there. This roll, good transition. You see him shortcutting the circuit there out.
But I kind of had my power back by this stage because we fixed the VVTi solenoid that we had, swapped it out, and we kind of got the car running a bit better. But it was still running a bit weird, which we were kind of a bit concerned about. So as you can see, my flick initiation this time much better. But see, Vasiliauskas shuts down the car. I actually don't know what happened. I think it was gearbox failure or something. But like, this was probably my best lead run of the night. Points, so that was pretty good. And we end up getting third again. Any more setup today? Probably, yeah. We'll probably do a little bit more. 10 minutes or so. That was OIDC round 1 or round 2. Hope you guys don't mind that little go back chat. But we end up getting that podium shot. It is.
Yep, taking third step on the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, Ahmed Daham. البطل أكيد الأردني والعربي والراية أحمد
The hell is this?
في الجولة الثانية أيضا مثل الجولة الأولى اللي حل فيها ثالثا in the third position. He's again right now in the third position again in the second round. تحية لي حل ثاني Irishman Alan Hines.
Yeah, another third place for us at round 2, which is pretty sick. And me trying to figure out how my flag is positioned. Can't really figure that out, I'm an idiot. And that's about it. Get third place. Commentator Mike was so bad he couldn't watch it. Oh, that's a pity. Yeah, it was a pretty good event in terms of like driving and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the microphone side of things. But yeah, that was OIDC. So we're heading back out there again next Friday, or next Sunday, should I say? So not this Sunday, but Sunday after. So Sunday week. For round 3 and round 4, I've got to bring out a few bits and pieces with me, just to give the car a proper check over as well. I don't know what it really. Like, where are my gloves? So chat, we'll do a little bit more driving for the next 10 minutes, so, and I think we'll call it there for tonight. If you haven't already, chat, make sure to give us a follow on social medias and stuff like that, especially on Instagram if you want to keep up to date the Omen stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I have a YouTube video as well coming out in the next day or so. Realize that it has the wrong sound. Sometimes I use custom shaders patch, like the track, the engine sounds, like amplifier or whatever in content manager. Sometimes it breaks. Are you gonna drive? I am your fan. Gusto. It's hot here. Okay. You have an issues. Clip 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's tough. Tough one. It's tough because you kind of have to carry speed through there without trying to lift with brake. That's obviously difficult. Hello, Ericus. Hello, Ericus. Bye, Ericus. What's up, Victor? How are you? Oh no, dirt dropping. Oh, no problem, Victor. Thank you for the runs earlier too. You're pretty quick actually, so I have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. I know what you want to say when you say Gusto. What? Gustavo? You're not Gustavo. Oh, you're Frederick. Oh, you're Frederick now. Okay, yeah. Aye. Good. And now my clutch pedal is starting to squeak. That's pretty ideal. You guys are not flicking for me? What do you mean flicking? God damn it. Oh, lagging. Oh, okay, I get you, Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I'm not sure about the lag anymore. It's some people are complaining about, some people aren't, so I'm not sure. Did you get new internet or something? Yeah, this is the pro service, the guy. What was that? H-Ray with the raid. Thank you, H-Ray. How you doing, my man? Hope you had a good stream, by the way. Just chilling. Yeah, that's the life, man. That's the life. You're just sitting in, like, you know, like your IKEA computer chair or whatever, you know, that you spent like $20 buying. Rolling around in all the cash, being a famous. I know what that feels like. Zeus, Lady, Ice, the follows. Appreciate it. Thank you. GT Omega. GT Omega, we made it. Yeah. I'm still on my Ractive seat, which I've had for years. I got it for free. Ractive, like it's. I don't even think it's a company that exists anymore. My new direct drive G27 spins infinitely. Why? What the hell did you do to it, man? Can't do the entry without e-brake? Oh, really? Yeah, you kind of need to do it without it if you can. The using handbrake on initiation will slow down your momentum a lot. Watch the Omens, but my boy Knick-Knack got violated. I stopped. Oh! Why you're not gonna you weren't supporting me, hey Trey? You're supporting an I mean I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. Oh, missing that zone. Oh, tap on the door. Ericus. Knick-Knack is my blood. What's my back to pits button? I have a button box up here on the left. You guys can't see it. That's why I use my back to pits. I have a button on it that I can use. Like it's like I don't know, it's like 20 buttons on it or something. What's up, Danger? No, he's not a streamer. He's just famous. Whoa! This fame, no stream, exactly. Like Whitley. All the fame with no gain. With sexy hair, ooh, sexy hair. Having sexy hair is good. I don't think my hair is sexy. You should see me in my emo stages. So in a few months when I'm gone into an emo phase again. That's when I'm wearing a hat all the time. When you see me wearing a hat backwards, because I'm going through my emo phase again. I get my hair cut like maybe twice a year, maybe 3 times. Better for the environment that way, you know? That's 6 years a day. Dude, I'm bald. Oh, that means you get your hair cut less than me then. Chris Fosberg gets the win. Oh, more like Gardner gets the win. Self-cutting hair. Yeah. Goosey has made him. That that other clip, I have to stop hanging so long there. It's messing me up. It's very difficult to judge it. Chase position. I'm glad I stopped streaming after. Wait, you're not streaming anymore? Or is it people making fun of you and you're like, no, can't make fun of me. Come on, literal. Take forever for his RB26 to warm up. After this month, you're stopping streaming. Okay. Have you been doing it for full time for a while, or is it just like a hobby thing still? Yeah. Running wide. Oh, no! What's up, sites? When does it start? Starts about 4:30 p.m. GMT 0 tomorrow. Damn, Caleb's car is slammed. Bit unusual for a Mustang. Oh, okay, I get you. I understand. You're gonna do an update 15 with physics? Yes, Sammy, I'll be doing this. Yep. I'll have more of this updated, or more of information on this later. No, I drive 900. I don't think I... Huh? No, I do 900. Sorry, guys. Chat, by the way, for some reason, I'm now not receiving comments from YouTube anymore. So, like, it's not popping up. Why it does this sometimes. Why it does this sometimes. Okay. Yep, I don't know why it does this sometimes. It just breaks. So usually, so for chat that doesn't know, I stream both on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And so sometimes YouTube chat doesn't pop up in the same window as my Twitch chat, so I miss out on YouTube comments. So I'm sorry for anyone who's commented, asked me stuff, or dating stuff. But I think this is our last run for now, as the server's about to reset, and to be honest, it's the time we're probably in the stream. Oh, Gusto. Yo, what's up, Mitch? Mr. Hines, have a great one. Thank you, H-Ray. We have a good break as well, by the way, man. What's up, Simon? Top as big as VC in the OCE region. Yeah, I understand that. I suppose your only one there is probably EDMJ, right? Or whatever. Well, I would love to have in the future a proper LAN event and having a proper structure, you know? I mean, we kind of have that, like VDC being maybe the pinnacle of esports drifting, and then like ESDA, DCGP, EDMJ, you know, CVDS, whatever, kind of all mixing, you know, giving licenses to VDC. But like, you've also got the people underneath VDC that are trying to be their own thing as well, and I don't know if that's the right thing either to be doing. Everyone has a bit of an ego, let's be real. In a good way, obviously. Everyone's trying to find their place and everyone's trying to find success with their own thing, but it's good for maybe their own reasons, but obviously you have to think about the bigger picture too for the people that want to grow the sport, and sometimes you have to take stance that's different. Anyway, yeah, we're going to leave it for there tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. As Augusto is saying goodbye to us as well, he's flashing his headlights. Man, that car is quite nice, by the way, Augusto. Good job. Also, can you stick your thumb out the window? Maybe you can stick his thumb out the window. Maybe that's still in this car. Either way, chat, we're going to leave it for there tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We're competing in VDC tomorrow, so if you haven't already, make sure to follow the YouTube channel of the Virtual Championship, live from 8 o'clock. And yeah, chat, we'll talk to you then. Thank you so much. We'll see you next Wednesday from 8 p.m. for my stream, 8 p.m. or 4 p.m. tomorrow for VDC stream. Talk to you soon. Good night.